It is the RIOT on RadioU.
Happy Monday.
Yeah, happy Monday, everybody.
Welcome back to a new podcast week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yep. What Nikki said. That.
Lots of good stuff here.
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you what, guys, I can't concentrate. I feel like I'm a good candidate for, I don't know what it's like to actually have ADHD, but all the stuff that's always dinging and going off, Nikki just got a notification. I just got another one on my computer. My phone just lit up. There's all this stuff going on. I'm trying to remember what I got to do.
But
before
can't.
I do the things that I'm supposed to do, there's that other thing I need to make sure I do that first before I go do the other thing. I'm not built this way. I can do one thing.
Well, I don't know what to do to help with that.
You can't.
There's nothing you can do.
You can't.
Oh,
There's another one.
Sorry.
There's another one.
No more.
I can't multitask. I can't focus. This is why a lot of times during the day at RadioU, you'll find me in a corner of the building somewhere because I'm literally
hiding out.
I can't even listen to music while I work anymore. The music gets too distracting.
Anybody have any tips?
You know what you do? You just power through.
Just keep going.
Just power through. It's fine. I'm fine. You're fine. We're all fine. The podcast is great.
That's right. Don't forget, if you hear anything during this podcast that you want to comment about, you can always find us at RadioU Riot on Facebook and just message or post to us there, or text 877-RadioU and just say, hey, I'm a podcast listener, and put your name with what you want to say.
Things in the podcast today, we talk about the fake field goal. Taco Bell trying to kill us all. Oh, again? Really?
Seems to be a consistent storyline.
Pumpkin spice chicken wings, lottery lines, Halloweens. Obadiah discovers the problem with the internet. I figured it out. And I'll just let you know that it is very closely intertwined with my own personal issues. So which is a real surprise to everyone.
Seeing our previous conversation.
It's a real surprise to everyone. We also get into the Netflix stuff with Daredevil, Luke Cage getting canceled, exploding toilets, thoughts on the marathon.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, so you guys enjoy the podcast today. I'm going to go get a snack. I'm going to try to make some toast.
Okay.
I'll try to do that before we do the other thing we need to really get done, before the other thing, before the one time.
Don't forget about it. Don't let the toast distract you.
Oh, boy.
You're like, what was I supposed to do? I just remember toast now.
Something about toast. I'm hungry. It is the RIOT.
It's like conditioning in finals. You just want it to be over, but it never is. It's the worst of the RIOT on RadioU.
You know what, Nikki? This weekend, I finally caught up. Sometimes you're behind. You're just behind. You don't mean to be behind.
You don't mean to, yeah.
You don't want to be behind, but you end up being behind. And this weekend, I finally caught up from being behind. I saw Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom.
Oh, the one that came out over the summer?
The one that came out over the summer.
Oh.
That movie...
Wait.
...is the best.
I don't think you'd be talking about it if it was.
Did
you not like it?
Oh, it is the worst.
Oh, well, you should have seen it in theaters.
No.
It made it more enjoyable, but still on a it's not so good level.
Nikki.
It's fun in theaters.
Did you see it in the theater?
I did, yeah.
And you liked it?
No. See, you're just not getting it. It's a little better in a movie theater setting, so if you have to see it, it's better there.
I don't think so, Nikki.
Not at all?
I don't think so.
It's better when you're seeing it with friends in a popcorn setting. If there's popcorn and maybe dinner before or after.
In fairness, I did watch it alone. Mm-hmm. Don't watch it alone.
How could you?
You'll be so scared. No, I did. I watched it alone. But keep in mind, 4K DTSX. No, really, that's what they call the sound codec. So, I was listening big, things were rumbling.
There weren't people around you.
One of my roommates was like, bro, the upstairs toilet is rattling.
Please stop watching it. That's the dinosaurs.
I'm like, yeah,
Can't help it.
When you bring them in, what are you going to do? It was so stupid. It was so stupid.
The sound level or just the plot, everything?
Well, stupid good. Man, it was sick. It was awesome. No. The movie was so dumb. I was getting mad at it. Okay? Spoiler alert. 3, 2, 1. When they brought out the Indoraptor, I was like, just stop it. Just stop.
In fact, it was such a good movie, I barely remember it. I only remember the part where I cried, where the dinosaur
on the dock. I've rolled my eyes so hard. I was like, hey, somebody smack me. I'm afraid they're stuck.
Now? That was out forever ago.
I get it.
You're catching up.
I told you I'm catching up. Like, that was the movie this summer. All right. You guys want to know what happened? I got together with a group of people and we played co-op Far Cry 5 instead of going to see Jurassic Park.
So
that's what I did.
That was what you did?
Right? And then once you get past the opening week, you're not going back. Like, I kept saying, like, yeah, I'm going to go see it. And pretty soon you're like, you know what? Why go to the theater? Like, it's going to be at home in like a month. Like, just wait. So that's what I did. It was so bad. It was so bad that it was like, okay, first off, this movie took place over the course of about 5 minutes. And at the end of it, it was just like I felt like we were in the exact same place that we were at the beginning.
I know.
You're like, no, because some of them are off the island. No,
they're loose.
And here's what I love. They're loose. Let me tell you what. If there was a T-Rex loose in your neighborhood and they're like, no, because they'll just run free and it's fine. It's like, if there's a wild dog in your neighborhood, people would take care of it. You're telling me the T-Rex is going from neighborhood to neighborhood? It ends with the raptor overlooking a neighborhood, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm sure the homeowners association won't have anything to say about it. Don't you dare touch that raptor. Now, I know it's eating 3 kids and 4 adults, but don't you touch it. He's kind of a neighborhood mascot around here.
It's fine. You just know when to stay in.
It was so stupid.
It is stupid, but it was stupid better in a movie theater.
Jurassic World, arguably also stupid, but stupid in a way where I'm like, yeah, I get this. It's happening. Like, it felt like things were happening. Jurassic World, Fallen Kingdom, I was like, is anything happening right now?
Is there any other movies from the summer you're going to be watching soon, so we should be prepared?
No, I think that's the only big one that I missed. Yeah, that was the movie that was a summer blockbuster.
Maybe also you're just so into games now that movies just aren't the same.
It felt like the slowest. It just drug on and on and on.
Because you're supposed to be in the theater eating popcorn during that time. It makes up for all of it.
I started fast forwarding through parts of it. I did. I was just like, you know what? I want to get to the end, but I'm so bored right now.
You didn't buy it though, right?
No.
You just rented it?
Nikki, I managed to rent it for $1.50.
And you feel like that might have been too much.
I felt great about it because I almost used my iTunes gift card to just buy it because I was like, you know what? Just buy it. It's no big deal. Gosh, I feel so good that I didn't buy it because I don't ever want to see it again.
Okay.
Think Obadiah owns too many video games?
Get us out of here. Roger that.
Well, maybe you'll think differently when... Okay, you're right. There's no conceivable scenario where anyone needs that many. The Riot on RadioU.
I saw Jurassic World, Forgotten Kingdom, and it took me... I know I'm late. I get it. It came out in July. It's October. Sometimes you miss things. And the only consolation I had was like, hey, at least you got college football on Saturday, right? Don't worry about it. That's going to take care... That'll take care of everything.
Oh, you're the one who was looking too much into it.
No big deal, right? Woo! Wow!
How'd your football go?
Wow! You know, I made an offhand comment to Hudson on Thursday, I think, like, oh, yeah, OSU's going to beat Purdue. And he's like, no, they're not. No, they won't. I'm like, yeah, they will. And it's funny how I remember, like, as soon as I turned the game on, I was like, wait a minute, the Boilermakers. And I had this flashback to, I don't even remember what year it was, but it was a few years ago when OSU was having this great season and they played Purdue on the road and Purdue killed them. And I remember as soon as I turned the game on, I was like, and I saw the black uniforms and I was like, I now have a bad feeling about this.
You get that feeling in your stomach and you're like, this is not going to go well.
I'm not even making it up. That was literally like, oh no, right? Purdue, And man, Purdue just soundly just devastated Ohio State. 49-20.
That's not a little.
No.
That's a lot.
It was bad. I mean, just owned them. And you got to listen, as an Ohio State fan, I have to give Purdue a ton of credit. Their fake field goal play was the stuff of legends. Did you see it?
I did not.
Oh my gosh.
I saw your message about it, but I didn't see it.
Oh my gosh. It was they're all set up to kick this field goal, and you're like, all right, OSU's still in the game. Fake field goal. Guy runs it. The setter runs it for a first down, and then they score. And it was just like, man.
That's it. That's how you play the game.
I know that we're losing here, but this is the kind of stuff you watch college football for.
If you're going to lose, at least to a game where they were doing well.
Oh, man. Unranked Purdue beats
well, now that part hurts.
Number 2 Ohio State.
That part really hurts. It always happens. It always happens. They just lose it somehow, somewhere.
I know.
With some team.
Again, nobody hate me, but as an Ohio State fan, I did feel that we were overranked at number 2. Like, I knew we were not really the number 2 team.
You didn't feel like it was all the way on the side that now it is, where they've lost to an unranked team, but, you felt like maybe they could have been down a few.
I did genuinely think they would beat Purdue. I thought they would give us a hard time, but I thought our number would come up against Michigan State or Michigan, and that was not the case.
It was about time something happened, so that's just how it goes.
Man, and it wasn't enough for them to just lose. They had to lose big
time. Well, just shake it off, okay?
Big.
Shake it off.
So let's see. Other games across the weekend. And basically, unless I'm missing something, I think that was the only upset that happened in college football this weekend. Bama won big. Michigan beat Michigan State. Clemson, who is now ranked number 2, beat North Carolina State. Penn State beat Indiana. That was a close game, 33-28. LSU won. South Florida won. Kentucky won. Washington beat Oregon. That's not an upset, though. So, yeah, I mean, just proud to be, I believe, the only upset of the weekend.
Oh, yay, everybody. Go your team.
So firm thy friendship.
Now, today is the day where, well, technically it would have been yesterday, but this is really where fans of OSU, you either stand strong or you're calling for the coach to be fired or you knew it all along or, all the things that people normally say when your team loses.
Well, Ohio State dropped from number 2 to number 11. And
it's quite a drop.
You know what it is? But I'm telling you, like, to get just thoroughly stomped by an unranked team like that,
we understand what you're saying.
It is what it is.
Here we go.
We're not saying this is going to be the worst thing you've ever heard, but on a scale of Charlie horse to agonizing death, it's a solid migraine headache. The worst of the riot on Radio U.
It is the riot on Radio U, 877-2 Radio U. I think we could refer to this as a nationwide cleansing. One massive colon.
Not purge, though, right?
Well, you know what? Actually, maybe that's a better way. Maybe that's a better way to say it. Like, you know how they just released The Purge, the first Purge?
Yeah, the movie.
And there's a Purge TV show, but like now there's a chance for everyone to participate in The Purge, no matter your socioeconomic level, your background, whatever. Absolutely everybody will have an opportunity to be purged. What are we talking about? Well, Taco Bell just announced that when the first base is stolen in the World Series, which starts tomorrow, as soon as that happens, then Taco Bell is going to announce a free taco for everyone.
You got to say it like they
for
would.
Everyone!
That's how they want everybody to treat that. You normally go and get the free taco when the taco is being offered for whatever sporting event is around.
Mm-hmm. Now, the games could last, like if they go to 7 games, the World Series could last all the way to October 31st. Taco Bell is announcing that if there's a base stolen during the World Series, that on November 1st between 2 and 6 p.m., you'll be able to claim. Actually, you'll be able to, like it says, are they doing, will you get it must be a Doritos Locos taco.
I think it's normally that.
Yeah, so it's not just a matter of getting a free taco. That's a premium taco, Nikki.
Ooh, I would love to see numbers. Like how many people actually go and claim a taco for these events.
Mm-hmm. Well,
because they keep doing it, so it's not like it doesn't wipe out their profit for that day. So you just have to wonder, like, how much does a taco actually cost them to make?
That's a good question. And the other question you have to wonder is, does Doritos defer some of the cost?
Yeah,
like they're giving away a Doritos taco, so that's extra advertising for them. Is that how they work that? One thing I know for sure is that it's time to put down the plastic and put the water bottles.
It's not that much for one taco. One taco's not going to do anything. It's not.
That's how it starts.
It even has the Dorito stuff to buffer it. It's fine.
You actually just made me more afraid. to eat it, because when people go into things, they're like, what? It's no big deal.
It's just one taco.
You're going to be in a cage where the sharks can't get through. If anything happens, we'll just reel you up. It's no big deal.
It's fine.
Man,
and then before you know it.
Are you kidding me? This ship is so well designed, there's no way it's going to sink. Absolutely not. We couldn't possibly have any problems here on the space station.
It's one taco. One small, tiny taco.
Do you see?
Famous last words.
Do you see the way they overlap? Do you see what you're doing right there? Every time
I don't have any
say,
problem with Taco Bell. I don't have any issues. I don't need to roll the dice when I go there. It's fine.
Okay, Nikki, I want to read a definition to you here,
yes.
Okay? All right, it's from dictionary.com. The word is hubris, all right? And it comes from a Greek tragedy, excessive pride toward or defiance of the gods leading to poor endings.
Maybe because you like to, talk about this when it comes to Taco Bell and the detox quality or getting sick when eating there. Maybe that's you just, your body just has this thing with it. Everybody else is fine.
Everybody else isn't fine. And I'll tell you a couple of things. First off, if you want to go down to the lawyer, they offer a last will and testament package for $29.95.
For one taco.
All right. And then I'll tell you something else we can do. Just in case you make it, I want you to know that I got some extra Pepto upstairs in my desk.
From the last time you got a free taco.
Yeah, it's just up there. So what we could do is
I'm
we
fine
could
when I
front load
eat
it.
there.
We could
And I don't know why he has such an issue.
You're making it, every time you say that, you're making it worse.
Ooh.
Keep at it, Nikki. Just keep
Just
doing
one taco, we're going to be fine.
One taco's not going to, oh gosh. Oh gosh.
What happened?
Something's not right.
You're making it too dramatic.
Nikki, there's Dorito dust coming out of your eyes.
It might sound hard to believe, but there was actually too much terrible material to fit in today's worst of the riot. Who are we kidding? That's really easy to believe. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
It is the riots on Radio U, 877-2 Radio U.
Did everybody have a good weekend? Anything fun happen?
You know what? You can text us. We'd like to hear about it. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
You can. Make sure you include your name. Text 877-2 Radio U, or feel free to call us if you'd like.
Did you have a scary weekend?
Or was it fun?
The haunted forest near my house. They're revving up for the weekend. You can go in the spooky forest. Woo!
What to do?
Or you could go see a scary movie.
Hey, I didn't know the one movie was coming out.
Halloween?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's weird. It would come out this time of year.
Well, I knew that. To me, Halloween is just kind of like, oh yeah, we're almost there.
It does seem like it's creeped up on us,
yeah,
right?
So I just wasn't aware.
That seems so Halloween that it would just sneak up on you like that. You know what I mean? Not waiting all of October for it to get here. It just gets ya.
Well, I thought they would have sent that out earlier just to build up to Halloween.
I don't know. I guess 2 weeks out from Halloween. You get 2 Fridays before Halloween. And, I mean, you're only going to go see the stabby guy so many times. You know? Like,
I'm sorry. That's the quote on the movie poster right there.
You'll only see the stabby
2 nights
guy.
up for the stabby guy.
Well, a lot of people did go see Halloween this weekend. $77 million it made in the U.S.
They were saying that it could have been a record except for Venom, because Venom, I think, had 80 million when it's released or something like that, but it was close. It was close to a record.
Man, why did everybody go see Venom? Why did you?
That's your own problem you guys need to fix.
Oh, look, he's got a big tongue. I want to watch him lick stuff. A Star is Born came in at number 2. Mm-hmm. And then Venom was still out there making the monies at 18 million. Goosebumps 2. Oh.
What is that?
That's the sequel to Goosebumps 1.
Oh. Did not know that was around.
That was number 4, and then First Man at number 5.
Oh, the astronaut one?
Yeah.
Ah.
And, you know, it's funny. Every time a movie does poorly, you always come out with these articles like, this is why it's bad.
They didn't put the flags on the thing.
I've read
many articles about that. I know. They're like, they didn't put the flags on it. We're not interested in seeing it. When really you're not probably interested in seeing it anyways. You have so many other choices with the Halloween stuff and with the Venom stuff. How could you fit it all in?
Is it a scary moon? Did they go to a scary moon? They didn't? Okay.
Well,
like,
it's not going to work.
This is like a scary time. So, I mean,
it's the wrong time of the year to release that.
You guys should have gone first week of November. because then I'm not ready to be scared anymore. I'm ready to go to the moon then. But you guys are trying to get me to the moon when it was scary time.
Sure. Or if not, that's like a Thanksgiving movie when you're so full that you just need to go see a movie to just get better. And why wouldn't it be a long moon movie?
No, you don't want that over Thanksgiving, because isn't there like a high-profile animated movie that's coming out Thanksgiving weekend?
Oh, the Wreck-It Ralph stuff.
Yeah, no, Wreck-It Ralph that's gonna be the big, everybody goes to the movies to see Wreck-It Ralph.
Sure.
You don't want to put your moon movie then.
All right, well, then I don't know where to put when you say that, where to put the moon movie, I don't know where to put it.
I'll tell you where you can shove the moon movie.
Exactly what I felt like.
I'll tell you exactly where you can put it.
Is what I felt like I was walking into right there by saying it that way when I did not mean it that way.
I'll tell you where the moon movie belongs. January.
January?
Yeah. That's where it belongs, because
I don't feel like that fits the new year, new me thing.
Sure it does. Like, it's a new year. You're trying new things.
I want to be an astronaut.
You want to go to the moon?
I don't know. I don't feel like that fits right either.
You don't think it does?
We'll keep working on it. But, I mean, that one already came out, so they didn't listen to us.
The other article I read was about how, Star Wars killed the moon. Like, what's interesting about going to the moon when you can blow up the space station or whatever? And I was like, well.
There is something, I mean, but, okay, well, that's our movie talk.
So, there it is. The stabby guy is still at the top. Number one.
Good job, everybody.
What did you call it, Nikki? 2 knives up? Or is it 2 stabs?
2 knives up. I give it 10 stabs.
Food fights, band interviews, Twitter fights. How else would you want to start your morning?
I feel traumatized, bruh. And now I'm tweeting about you, bruh. And now you're trending, bruh. And now your life is ruined, bruh. And now you're fired, bruh.
It's The Riot on RadioU.
So, over the weekend, was it Saturday? Yeah, Saturday, I stopped to get gas in my car, like I do.
Winning, you are doing great.
And I went inside to grab something, and I was like, what?
Hot dog?
No.
Coke?
Nope.
I should just say soda. A donut?
Yes.
You were trying to get soda?
I was trying to get a soda. So
okay,
what?
that's fine.
Soda what?
I want to know what's going on, like, with the whole story.
You know, Nikki, here's the thing.
You're leaving something out if you're not telling me what you're going in for.
They went to the moon. Yes, they planted a flag, but we don't have to show everybody. So not everybody has to know about the soda purchase.
That you were going into the gas station for?
Listen, guys, I do Saturday soda. Mm-hmm. It's acceptable. Though, quite frankly, at this point, you're just having soda. Like, you can put a day on it, whatever you want to call it.
It's fine.
You done fall off the wagon.
Just want to know why you were in it. It's fine.
That's why I went, okay?
Okay, stop
That's
yelling.
why I went.
Okay.
Stop yelling. You know what? You're the one that poked the bear.
And now he's thirsty.
Just saying that's on you, Nikki. That's
so what
on
happened
you.
when you went to go get gas?
So I went in there, and like they had part of the gas station like roped off.
Yeah.
And there were people behind the rope, and I was like, is this a celebrity signing? Like, who's here? Who are we here to see?
It's probably some kid's cartoon character.
21 Pilots tickets going on sale?
What are we doing?
What's happening right here? John Rubin is back? I don't know. So it turns out they were just all there and roped off to buy lottery tickets.
Oh, for the large, is it a Powerball or something?
Powerball and Mega Millions jackpot. Nobody won on Saturday.
They put a lineup for people to get the tickets?
Yeah,
okay.
Well, it's even weirder that there are like people in line. And I was just like, what is this? Like, what are we doing?
At least go in for a soda.
I was like, you guys aren't buying anything else? And I mean, dude, people were pumped about buying their tickets too.
Lottery tickets it's a catch. Like, sometimes in your mind, you're just like, what if?
What if?
What if I just win $1 bajillion that I could ask for in one lump sum or a small amount throughout every year? Like, what if I could win all that? Now, on the other side of it, when you realize you're probably not going to be at such a small chance of winning, but you will lose your money. So that's a guarantee.
So it's like, listen, you're not going to win $2 billion, but you definitely just lost $2.
And I've seen a lot of people throw some big money down on those things, and they win nothing.
Yeah. So, apparently the jackpot is now at like $2 billion, which I believe is the biggest ever.
Mm-hmm.
So,
that's why they be having a lineup.
I was amazed I'm just like, what What is happening? Oh, right.
It's a Powerball thing.
So
it's powerful.
All of you guys think you're going to win. So which one do you think? You? Which one is it?
Well, that's why they're trying.
They're trying, but nobody won on Saturday.
Because we all just want to try, because we all just want to win.
Hey.
$1 billion.
I'll tell you the truth. I would love to win $2 billion.
I know you would.
I would.
You would.
And you know what, Nikki? If I won $2 billion, I'd buy you lunch.
But there is that saying, don't hate us for this, but how can you be expected to be able to have that much money when we need to be wise with the money that we currently have?
Man, I can't even trust you with $2. You're gambling $2 and you want me to give you $2 billion.
Dude, they're not spending $2 a game. You're spending a lot of money on that stuff.
You're actually right. The dude next to me, I think he had over $30 in lottery tickets.
Just that time.
Yeah, just that day. And I was just like, oh, man. And I guess he didn't win.
Just because this is the worst of the riot doesn't mean Obadiah and Nikki weren't trying their best. It's just that their best is really, really awful. Radio U.
Let's all make a mistake together. That's what I said. That's what I said.
I don't know why, but on this side, it could be worse. You're at least going out and having these things.
Well, here's what I'm saying is it was a week ago today that I uttered that sentence. Let's all make a mistake together. And we went to the wing buffet.
It actually wasn't that bad.
It really wasn't. And
I didn't get sick afterwards.
I didn't get sick either. What did we do right?
I don't know. There is a wing buffet where last year and earlier this year, there was
every time we ate there, I was so sick.
It was consistent.
It was.
Very consistent, but we rolled the dice the last couple of times, and when we went on Friday, it actually was fine. It tasted good, and we didn't get sick afterwards. So it was there. I was glad we went, and they had a weird flavor, so we got to try it.
Orange creamsicle.
It's very odd. It was on
terrible.
A breaded, no bone. It wasn't a wing. It was more like a chicken. Well, what's the word?
It's a bone-out wing, but really it's a chicken nugget.
Yes, basically.
It's really just a chicken nugget.
But it was not orange. So, orange chicken is delicious. It was an orange cream.
An orange cream sickle.
So it had that cream aftertaste. It wasn't the worst.
Good. It wasn't
but
good.
it was very different.
I didn't want to waste any of my stomach space at the buffet on that.
You could only eat one or two, and that's why it was on the buffet, because they were discontinued. It was like a month-long only promotion, and people hated it, so they were getting rid of the sauces.
The waitress even said, they keep putting it out there because they're trying to get rid of the sauce.
She told us everything about it.
She did. Now, that was at Quaker Steak and Lube, but Buffalo Wild Wings has decided they also want to make a big mistake together.
Now, this story has been, you guys are on top of it. It's been sent to us a lot, and so we're finally remembering to talk to you about it.
They are introducing pumpkin spice wings that you can get at Buffalo Wild Wings. Pumpkin spice wings.
So they're available through the end of this month, so you don't have too long left, but that's it.
So here's what they say. The sauce is a combination of ale, barbecue, and pumpkin spice. So they put that all together, and it's like a pumpkin spice barbecue. Now, when you say it like that,
it actually sounds not bad.
It seems a little more reasonable.
In Buffalo Wild Wings, I eat differently there because it's not a buffet. When you go to Quaker Steak, you can just let it go.
You're just slopping it, just like whatever.
You can have as many or whatever or all the flavor combinations you want. At Buffalo Wild Wings, it's a little bit more, to me, expensive, and you got to watch. You got to be serious about your wing choices.
Yeah, you're right.
So that's my only caution with this. I don't want to order a big order and then not like it.
Oh, no. You almost need everybody to go in all right, everybody chip in $1. We're going to get these pumpkin barbecue spice something wings.
But then you have your own special wing order. Your real one ready to go, so you're not disappointed.
So this is just like an appetizer or something like that.
It'd be pretty good, though.
The thing I say, when they say it's a mixture of ale, barbecue, and pumpkin spice, it's certainly not for me, but this is the time of year when I walk in the grocery store and there are just stacks of pumpkin beer.
You expect this flavor.
Two things you don't like in one.
A couple people were commenting they were surprised it wouldn't at least last through Thanksgiving because it could be, it's like a fall flavor, but only through the end of October.
But don't you feel like, I could be wrong about this, but for me, pumpkin spice is an October thing. It's not a November thing.
True, but it technically is also a November thing.
True. You're right.
We have pumpkin pie. at Thanksgiving.
See, to me, once we move into Thanksgiving territory, it's time to just eat pie.
True.
Forget about your spice. Like, just give me pumpkin pie.
So if anybody's tried the Buffalo Wild Wings pumpkin wings, let us know.
I would like to hear about it, and I would like to try it. But
I don't know if we'll get there. Not sure.
Man, I can tell you right now, if Nikki doesn't think it's going to happen, it's definitely not happening.
Don't know if we can make it.
If Nikki's not on board, forget it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
The Riot is a friend to everyone. I mean, they're that friend that everyone invites out of pity and obligation, but still, they've got friends. Radio U.
Here's what's wrong with the internet.
Let's hear.
Here's what's wrong.
What you have to say.
The internet makes aberrant behavior. I'm going to say bad. I'm going to say, like, off to the left or right, not center line behavior. It takes it and normalizes it. And I experienced that this weekend, Nikki. You guys know that I have a movie problem. I like to buy.
Not a problem. Why are we?
I'm calling
Why
it a
are we
problem.
doing that?
Look, because I'm judging myself. I can do that. You guys can't judge me, but I can judge myself.
Well, sometimes we head it off by just saying that. That way people won't bring it up because you acknowledge it.
Look, I love buying movies. I love buying Blu-rays, 4K Blu-rays, DVDs. Whatever you got, I'll just buy that. What do you have? I'll take it. I've kind of just gotten to the place where I'm at peace with the fact, like, look,
that's your thing. You like to do it.
You just like doing this. And then over the weekend, I don't know how I got there. I was lonely. I was on the internet. You find yourself on Reddit, and all of a sudden
Did you find a forum for people like you?
Yes, I did.
Oh, yay!
I found a subreddit of people. That's how it started. I was searching for some information on a particular 4K movie.
Yeah.
And that led to R-DVD collection.
That's all you.
It's bad.
Oh, yay. You found some friends.
Well, it did a couple of things for me. One, this is when I knew I had a problem. People are posting just photos of like their movie collection. And I was just like, man, that collection's big enough to post a picture of it?
That's got nothing.
Are you seriously bragging about that? Like, that's all you got? And then I was like,
people are going to think that people are going to think that you have stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks of movies when he does, and digital as well.
Don't you remember when we did the count?
Oh, yes. I forgot.
Like, it's high, Nikki.
You have a lot. You do, but you buy them at affordable prices.
I do.
So you never buy full price.
No, I don't. I mean, the clothes, no, you don't.
But I think you probably buy in one Black Friday, like more than maybe I do the whole year.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the plan. That's
what you like to do.
I do almost all of my buying on one day, but make no mistake, it's still excessive.
So now that you're a part of this subreddit, are you encouraged to continue your thing that makes you happy? Or do you see, like, from the outside looking in, you're like, oh, gosh, I'm that way too?
It's been a little bit of both. I was looking at it going, oh, gosh, look, I'm not the only one. I'm the only one of my friends, but I'm not the only one.
There's people.
There's all these people on the internet that are just like me, and that's when I was like, this is destructive. This is bad technology. The Reddit is making this normalized when I should stop. What I need is people to pull me aside and be like, look, son, those movies won't make you happy. They won't fill the void.
You're not looking for them to fill the void.
I'm not. I just like buying them and seeing them and touching them and stacking them and organizing them and looking at them and sometimes watching them.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you join the subreddit?
I mean, I subscribed. I haven't posted yet.
Okay. You're just going to be a lurker?
I looked at their collections and I was like, I should really get back there and organize mine. Because, like, it's not really organized right now.
No, that's a warning bell.
I know.
No, right there.
Did I not just say? Did I not just tell you?
That is a warning sign that I must look for when dealing with you. You do not need to go back and suddenly bring your collection out. Okay? That's not what you do.
Do you see?
So next I know you go to IKEA to get all these shelving systems.
I thought about it. I was like, you know what? Maybe I should just move them out. I'll put them on a shelf, and if I had the right shelf, I would just organize them that way. And then I started thinking, like, okay, do I put them, all right, do we go alphabetical? Do we go genre? Do we mix the DVDs and the Blu-rays together?
Or you separate those?
Separated them out. Like, how do we do it? Because I saw people doing them both ways. And again, I started going, oh, somebody has a problem. Somebody has a problem.
Okay, so what are we supposed to do about this? Just keep an eye on you?
Nikki, that's why I'm telling you. I don't know what to do.
This is your problem.
I just know that I'm broken, and the internet's trying to say, no, you're not broken. This is fine.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Everybody
with Reddit.
does this, and that's the problem with the internet. It's making it okay. It's not okay. I need to be ashamed and stop.
How about this? You're okay.
Sure I am. It's all these other people that are all messed up.
No. No matter what, even if you bought more Blu-rays, you're okay. But you just have to realize you have a lot. So you don't maybe need as much.
I have a problem, is what I have. Oh,
no
Jeff,
one needs to use the P word.
Jeff just texted and said they need a leader. Answer the call.
Dude, he could totally run that Reddit.
They need a leader. It's me. I'm going to help them.
You could be like their best user out of the whole group.
Like, man, he unified us all.
You wanted to be a president.
Before you start your day, make sure you have everything. Phone, check. Debit card, check. Radio U, check. Emergency donut. You forgot your donut. Better turn around. Radio U.
8772 Radio U. We love to hear from you.
I feel like your text messages are getting better and better every day.
JC says, we were talking about my movie problems, and he says, separated by genre, then in each genre, separate DVD and Blu-ray, then in each of those alphabetical order, unless that will take a series out of proper order.
Okay, great. That's how you can then, if you decide to bring your collection out, and make it a focal piece of your basement.
JC, I just want you to know that that's like a friend that's like, I can't stop smoking, and you're like, all right, let's go buy a box.
Do you know what you could do?
Smoke this down, bro.
You got to use them up. No, with Obadiah Plays, when you do your gaming and stuff, what if it was your backdrop behind you?
All my movies.
All your movies.
It's a terrible idea.
Why? It's for work. I know, isn't it great? I'm getting into it too. I can help organize. I'm really good at it.
Becca says, I do the same thing with books. I'm in the midst of a debate as to whether or not replace the bookshelves or the books that were recently lost by the basement floor getting wet.
Aw.
I'm sorry that happened, Becca, because I know how painful that can be.
Make a note. Keep these movies up higher.
Mm-hmm. Rachel says, sounds like Opie found his hobby, movie collecting.
Yay!
Buy those shelving units without shame. I have my own small collection of movies, video games, and playing cards. I know it's weird, but for me, it's fun. You're not alone, IRL, either. Rachel. Listen, no, you guys.
They're helping.
They're encouraging.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's because our listeners are encouraging.
You know what? Here's what's hard for me. This is real talk right here, is I really do genuinely love buying movies.
Yeah.
I get some weird satisfaction out of owning them. And again, I can't connect it. And there's part of me that just despises the satisfaction I get out of it. Because I'm like, these are worthless.
Dude,
they have no value.
It's not,
why are you buying them?
It's not drugs. It could be worse. You could have a way worse hobby.
I get it.
You could have a way worse one. It's just a movie, which I know is a dangerous statement to make.
Yeah. I just can't. I don't know what it is. Like, I can truly say I love it. But I don't like that I love it.
The only problem I have with this sort of collecting is I know, a bajillion years down the road, when it's time for Obi to die, it's just someone else's, thing to deal with.
What, you're concerned when I die, you're going to have to clean up my movie collection? That's your concern. That's exactly what it is.
Just saying. Don't leave it to me.
I'll just say this, Nikki.
Don't leave the movies.
Your concern for my health and well-being is just overwhelming.
Hey, I said a bajillion years down the road. You're not dying anytime soon.
I know, but still.
But just watch how much it gets, because then someone has to. And we already know none of these things hold any actual money value, because
they're worthless. They are worthless. I'm telling you, Nikki, buying a movie, it's like, I'm always making fun of people like, what are you playing the lottery for? This is just as dumb. I mean, practically as dumb, really, because the only difference is there's no chance, quote unquote, in it. It's just like, hey, you could have this $10, or you could have this movie you're not going to watch. Which one do you want? I want the movie, okay?
Just see what you want to do. But thank you guys for all the text messages.
Stacy says movie collecting is destined to fail if Obi attempts to start it.
No, he's already been doing it.
Michael wants to know if IKEA has rolling shelves. Yeah, because then I could roll them into the background and then I'd roll them out
during
for the streaming
parties.
Stuff. Matt says, I used to have a collection of over 600 movies, and then I got married, and she made me trade some in, and now she limits what I can buy.
Aw, Matt, sorry.
Matt, you married an accountability partner.
That's smart.
Beth says, why don't you start a small business of lending them out like a library? Then others can enjoy them too. No, the last thing I need is to start my own video store.
Well,
then it'll really justify my problems.
Well, this could be a side business, or you could be a retro, like back to the disc days of Netflix. Mm-hmm. Could be like an Obiflix.
Jason says, I know the connection. You grew up renting movies. The idea of owning a movie was a status symbol. That could be it. Like, because I don't know.
I think he just likes watching movies.
I have a problem. I'm calling it a problem.
Stop using the P word.
I will use the P word.
You have a collection, a hobby.
A collection.
Use the H word.
That means you have some kind of a mental problem where you're like, I need to own these things to feel secure.
Let's not look too deep.
What you're about to hear isn't really Obadiah and Nikki. It's two highly skilled, highly paid impersonators who are recreating the dumbest parts of the show from this week. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
You know what? I watched some Daredevil this weekend.
Did you?
Not disappointing.
Is it good?
I only watched one episode, which I know everybody's like, why didn't you watch all of them?
I actually expected you to say more.
No. I just watched one. We can't get into it, but the weekend was crazy.
Sure.
Plus, there was football, there was stuff. So I only got to see one episode, but so far, so good.
So last week, Netflix said they were canceling Iron Fist. And then on Friday, they decided they're canceling Luke Cage as well.
Yes. I just feel like if somebody could get me a hotline number to the people at Netflix, I need them to not cancel Daredevil.
Well, I think
I need that to keep going.
What's left? Jessica Jones
and Daredevil. Because
That's the only two left?
Yes, because they had 4 Marvel shows. 5 if you count The Defenders, which was all of those 4 shows together.
Yeah.
So you had Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, and Daredevil.
So here's what I was thinking, though. Maybe, just maybe, there's a lot more behind the scenes as well, because coming next year will be the whole Disney thing, and Disney owns Marvel. Mm-hmm. So a lot of the Disney stuff will go from Netflix to the Disney setup. Maybe with this stuff, even though Netflix owns it, maybe Disney, that was the sweet spot where they're going to start raising, if Netflix wanted to do any more seasons.
Charging them more?
That was like the limit, and they weren't doing well enough at that point to be kept on for any more seasons.
It feels like there is definitely a business reason why these shows are not going to be on the air anymore. That's what it feels like to me.
Because they put a lot in it.
They did.
More than just like, oh, yeah, okay, we're pulling it now.
The only other thing I would say about it, though, is that I will say that when it came to new seasons of Luke Cage and Iron Fist, I feel like I didn't hear anybody talk about them at all. Like when Luke Cage came out, I feel like a ton of people talked about it. Even Iron Fist, a lot of people talked about how they didn't like it, but they were still talking about it. And at least in the circles that I run in and the people that I follow on Twitter, et cetera, I didn't hear anybody talking about Luke Cage. It was like Luke Cage was released in a vacuum, like no sound at all. Nothing.
Well, now people are talking about it again, though.
But
because it's been canceled.
But the other side of it is, I felt the same way about Daredevil this weekend.
Sure.
I feel like there was, I
saw more about Daredevil with people watching it than I have the others. But.
Yeah, it could be that I was just hanging out in the wrong spot.
Sure.
But I just don't feel like I heard from a lot of people that were watching Daredevil.
It seems like it takes a lot for Netflix to dump a show. And it's surprising
it seems like
that
they'll
they
keep
would,
anything on.
That they would do that back to back. That is surprising because they have so many other shows that they purchase and they put the Netflix original on. Mm-hmm. But for these, they've invested a lot. Mm-hmm. And they have a name with Marvel and being superhero stuff where some of that other stuff has nothing.
Yeah, I'm surprised. The only thing I can think is it's either the business thing or maybe not that many people watched the second seasons.
Sure.
Like maybe we all watched the first season of Luke Cage, but when the Defenders ended so poorly and ended up being kind of like just bad, people are like, you know what? We don't need it anymore.
We'll never know until someone is disgruntled from Netflix and decides to tell us in their tell-all book years later.
I was going to say in 15 years there will be a book and we'll learn all about it.
Then we'll know.
If two people like that can get a job, anyone can. See, the worst of the riot can be encouraging. It's the worst of the riot on RadioU.
Nikki, have you ever thought about installing a Flushmate 2 501B?
Sounds like a toilet. Is it a toilet?
It's something that goes in your toilet.
What is it? Is it the little squeezy thing that's in the back part of the tank or whatever that is?
The squeezy thing.
Well, isn't there like some weird... thing that's in the back of the toilet tank?
Yeah, it helps close the valve.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay, sure. The balloon.
It looks, or like it always looks like if you need to, like you can clean your ears out with one or your nose.
Most people don't use those anymore. They've got a different.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, in most cases.
Try not to look in the tank. So
yeah, I've gotten the opportunity to repair multiple toilets over the last couple of years. So I'm up on all the new technology.
So
if not the terminology.
You just know it. So is this a toilet thing?
Think about this, Nikki. What if you were at home and you flushed the toilet, and instead of it being like a slow whatever, it was more like a jet engine, like whoosh, like you get in some public bathrooms where like
the power of like a commercial toilet.
Oh yeah.
But I thought we weren't supposed to. We're not supposed to like waste the water.
No. But the thing, you got to understand that like those, a lot of times it's not about.
I thought it was a low flow or.
No, they use less water because they're using pressurized water to push it out. So whereas before you're like waiting on gravity and water to work together.
And a prayer.
This is more like, let me tell you something. I got a jet engine in here.
So you can add that to your home toilet?
You know, if you want to know the truth, I don't know if you can or not, but I think you can. Like, I think that's something that, I mean, of course, I don't know that you and I would have the, know-how to make it happen, but we could bring a professional in and
a plumber.
Yeah, make a flushmate happen. There's just a little bit of a problem. Flushmate is issuing a little recall on the Flushmate 2.
It's too powerful.
They've had 1,446 reports in the United States and 7 in Canada.
Of injury?
In which the Flushmate...
Are we getting salmonella?
The Flushmate exploded.
The toilet or like...
That's exactly right.
To pieces or...
So here's what happens, Nikki. You reach over.
Oh, that's a bad day. You know, like you're trying to have a positive like outlook in life and be good on yourself and not think poor thoughts about ourselves like a self-esteem issue.
You reach over and you hit the toilet and, you hit the flusher there and all of a sudden...
What do you do?
The Flushmate, because, there's contents under pressure. So the Flushmate all of a sudden literally blows up.
So what do you do?
Well, one person had to have foot surgery.
Oh, because probably some of the toilet things.
That's shrapnel.
Yeah, shrapnel.
They had a grenade in their toilet bowl.
That's scary.
Boom.
Okay,
it is scary.
So I'm not into this thing anymore.
No, not anymore. Okay, so apparently this isn't the first time they've had this problem. They've had to do recalls in 2012, 2014, and 2016.
They're not getting it right.
They're not getting it right. Well, 2015 was a good year. No recall that year. So maybe we get a vintage. Maybe we get a vintage one.
They were waiting on it. Oh, that would be so bad because, do you shut your water off or like how do you stop?
Yeah, I'll tell you.
To happen. Like, what do you do?
Well, after it explodes, as long as you're not bleeding everywhere, yes, you have to shut the water off, which you shut it off.
I'd be screaming it just to no one there and be like, just remember what Obi said. Shut the water off. You can do it. Go shut the water off.
If you look by your toilet, there is a shut-off valve.
It's the nozzle thingy?
Yeah, you just turn that off.
Which way?
Which way? You figure it out, okay? Just go. If the water's still going, go the other way, okay? I'm pretty sure it's a righty-tighty, lefty-loosey kind of thing.
Oh, my gosh, I need to know.
And then if that
the wall's
didn't do
still
it,
there.
That's exactly right. Do you know where to shut the water off in your house?
Is it in the basement?
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to learn this.
You probably should.
Yes, all right.
Okay, then you run downstairs,
Ow!
bloody, covered in you know what, and headed for the shutoff valve.
No, I just...
Eric!
I can't even call like the cops or just a doctor. Like I can't call anybody. I have to just let that one go because I'd be so embarrassed. I couldn't possibly.
The idea of you going into the bathroom and a couple of minutes later I
have to clean it up. I have to move.
I'm just like, you know what? Just let her be.
No, I would
just
clean up before the cleanup came because that's just what you do.
You come out. Absolutely
put together,
soaking wet, running downstairs. Turn it off.
Sometimes when bad things happen, you don't realize the power that's in you deep down. You have to reach down and pull it out. So then that way you can make it through what's gone on.
Sometimes hard times creates
You're
magnificent
a better person
people.
When you come out the other side. You must be.
The other side of the Flushmates.
Not a morning person? this isn't gonna help.
Does this look like a group of losers?
It's the Riot on Radio U.
Seriously.
It is the Riot on Radio U. Don't forget, riot.radiou.com. You can grab details on our YouTube channel, which is at Radio U Riot, our Facebook page, also at Radio U Riot, in case you ever want to post something or follow us there.
So I was at the Columbus Marathon yesterday. It's one of the most amazing things that I do every year. It's like 18,000 people running. You got marathons, half marathons, people doing different things. And it's crazy, the number of people that I see. So many of you guys coming by, give me high fives, taking selfies.
You're at a mile marker, so you play music, and you're basically there to cheer on everybody.
Tell you what, if you've never gone to a race like that, it's worth going. Now, of course, if you're cheering for a friend, a lot of times you'll be like, you'll catch them at mile 3 and you'll catch them at mile 8. But one of the interesting things about what we do for the radio station is that I'm at one point, and so I literally see everybody. I might not recognize everybody, but I see everybody that goes by, and I'm always amazed at the things I see. You see people out there for Wounded Warrior, and they're carrying a huge pack on their back and a flag, and you see other people that are pushing friends or family members, sometimes in wheelchairs, sometimes it's just babies in strollers. And then you start to see people that are hurt. I'm always amazed by that. People that are they've got an injury or whatever, and they are just struggling to finish their race. You've got other people that are, you see everything, the whole gamut of human emotion. Some people are just ecstatic to be there. I had a lady that came up to me and was mad because there was a girl running in front of her, and people sometimes have their names on the bibs.
Yeah.
And so if you've got your name on a bib and I can read it and pronounce it, a lot of times I'm on the mic calling out people's names saying hey, Becky, you could do this, whatever. So the one girl, her name was on her bib and she was running a half marathon and she only had 2 miles to go. And I was like, come on, you're almost there. You got this. And this lady comes by. She's got a full marathon bib on. Yeah. And she was like, I am not almost there. We are not close to the end. She was
really mad?
Yeah. But the thing is when people are out there in the middle of that, that can be a real fight.
Yeah.
So, I get it.
You were the outlet for that brief second of that energy.
Yes. I was the receiver.
Yeah. Just the unfortunate one.
She's mad at the 26 miles. She's not mad at me.
But you were there.
But I was there.
You were physically someone she could take that out on.
Yeah, absolutely. I had one or two unhappy encounters. Most people are just excited to be there. But, you see other people that are running and there's so much emotion. I saw people crying, I saw people laughing, I saw all these things. And one of the things that I love about it is I just get to stand out there and cheer for people. Just whatever. I don't care what kind of shirt you got on. People vote for this person, do that. Everybody's got all these sayings on their shirts. I didn't care about any of that. The only thing I was there for was to cheer for people and encourage people as they were going. And the thing that I thought about as I was watching people go by is in a race, a lot of times people are super transparent. You can tell if they're hurting. You can tell if they're upset. But, day to day, when it comes to life, you can't tell. I don't know how Nikki's doing today. As far as I know, she's doing fine.
I'm not yelling at you, because I'm not done with my day.
Nikki could be having a terrible day today. She's just really good at hiding it. But me, I can't hide nothing. I'm no good at how I'll tell you.
You literally never know what someone's going through.
You don't. And so I want you to know that today you're out there kind of living life. In a lot of ways, it's like a race. And there are people walking by you that are so injured you wouldn't believe it, but you don't know it. You can't see it. And I guess what I'm trying to say is two things. One, you know what? Today, instead of being harsh on each other, we could just encourage each other. The people next to you that you live with, that you work with, that you go to school with, whatever, you could just high five them and be good to them instead of, kicking them or whatever the heck you've had planned to do today. Take 1 second before you talk and try to be nice. And my other thought is this. I want you to know if you're out there and people are kicking you and you feel like you can't make it and you're hurt, you're not alone. Jesus very much loves you. And he sees you. You might have a great front and nobody knows that you're running injured, but God knows how injured you are. And whether you're on top of the world or you're not, you don't have to do this by yourself. If you don't have a relationship with God, you can ask him for help right now. Doesn't have to be fancy. You can just say, you know what, God, I want that. Come into my life. Fill me with your spirit. I'm hurt. I feel like I can't make it and I need some help. Let me tell you what, God is not waiting to yell at you. He is waiting to cheer for you and to help you and maybe even pick you up and carry you for a while. I saw some of that too. Mm-hmm. There are heroic things that happen on a race course like
So
that.
maybe let's spend today and try to cheer people on.
We could just cheer for people. Or at the very worst, if you can't say anything nice.
Don't say anything at all. We'll stick with that.
It's just a thought.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast. Make sure to check out The Riot weekday mornings from 6 to 9 Eastern on Radio U at RadioU.com.
Nikki, have you ever thought about installing a Flushmate 2 501B?